morning, saints, and welcome to another week of the Dixon's Devotions with Pastor Dixon. Today we are going to be looking at Psalm chapter 17. The last time we met, when we look at Psalms chapter 16, we saw the character of David. It was a messianic psalm, but we see the character of David, and also we see character, especially in Psalms chapter 15, we saw the character of David when he was talking to the people how to live, what to do, what the believers, the life of the believers will look like, as opposed to Psalm chapter 14, the fool has said in his heart, the character of the ungodly, and chapter 15, the character of the godly, chapter 16, a messianic psalm, and right now here in chapter 17, we're going to see the integrity of David. Here in this psalm, it is very personal. It's talking to the inner being. In other words, during trials and testing, this is time we take introspection of our life, see what is going on. And when we read this psalm, it's very deep, talking to the person, probing his inner being, his inner soul, as it relates to God. So here we go in verse 1. Hear me, Lord, my plea is just, and listen to my cry. Hear my prayer. It does not rise from deceitful lips. Let my vindication come from you. May your eyes see what is right. So David is saying right here, he is pleading to God during the time of trouble. As again, it's believed this is a time when his enemies were surrounding him, when Saul was pursuing him. And he said, my plea does not come from deceitful lips. You vindicate me, Lord. I don't want to take vengeance in my hand. You remember many times David had Saul to kill on 2 occasions, and he did not do it. He said, touch not me, Lord, anointed. Let God deal with that. Verse 3, he said, though you probe my heart, though you examine me at night and test me. So here David is saying, he's looking at his inner soul, and he's seeing how the Lord is testing him, his inner being, how the Lord tests our inner beings, to trials, to testings. And David, 15 years of running away from Saul, God was testing his inner being, how he's going to operate. Would he take vengeance in his hand, or would he wait on the Lord? How he would manage himself, how he will operate, test his inner being. And he said every night it's like God was testing him, his inner being. Introspection, saints, we need to take introspection. During trials and testing, God send these things to test our inner being. You will find that I have planned no evil. You see that? Introspection. My mouth has not transgressed. The people try to bribe me. You see that? Testing, integrity. Character is what you do on the outside. Integrity is what you do when no one is watching. Who you really are. Because sometimes you could act the part, be nice in society and fool people. But integrity, who you really are, God is probing. I have kept myself from the ways of violence. This is David probing himself, and he let God probe him. So he said, I have kept myself from the ways of the violent through what your lips have commanded. In other words, what God has commanded, that's David tried to do inside and let his lips speak about. My steps have held to your path. My feet have not stumbled. I called on you, my God, for you will answer me. Turn your ear to me and hear my prayer. Show me the wonders of your great love. You who save by your right hand those who kept refuge in you from their foes. Keep me as the apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadows of your wings from the wicked who are out to destroy me, from my mortal enemies who surround me. And he's talking about God, you test me, you probe me, You tried my inner being. You see the sincerity of my soul and the sincerity of my heart. How I tried my best to live up to your standard, and I have not stumbled. So God is asking now in verse 10. His enemy is surrounding him. They're ready to destroy him with the sword, he said. They close me up. Their callous hearts and their mouths speak with arrogance. They have tracked me down. They now surround me. Now remember, this is talking about through integrity, the inner person come to trials and testings. And this was David's trial, and this was David's testing. When he was surrounded, his life was on the line. Saul was close many times to kill him, but we know God allowed him to escape. And he described his enemies right down to verse 12. They are like a lion hungry for prey, like a fierce lion crouching in cover. So it is when we go through our different testings, our different trials. It could be from the outside attack, and it can be in the inside attack. It could be from your home, your family, your marriage, your relationship, even your health. When you feel weak, you feel helpless. Verse 13, rise up, Lord, confront them, bring them down. With your sword, rescue me from the wicked. By your hand, save me from such people, Lord, from those of this world whose reward is in this life. You know, Lord, those who don't serve you and those who wish me wrong, so his attack was from the outside. As I said, some of us, our attack might be from the inside. When I say in the inside, close to us, it could be in our marriage, in our home, children, it could be in our finances, it could be also in our health. But this was David's trial. And David concluded in verse 15, as for me, I will be vindicated and will see your face. When I awake, I will be satisfied with seeing your likeness. In other words, David, this is a psalm in the night. David in the cave somewhere in the night, the darkness out in the wilderness, running from Saul. And he's dreaming in his heart, he's sleeping. And he is seeing how God is testing him and the struggles that he's had, the fears, and he's examining his inside relationship with God. But he said, you know what? As for me, I will be vindicated. He knows God is going to vindicate him. And we'll see your face. God, even though it feels like darkness now, I will be vindicated and see your face. When I awake, I will be satisfied with seeing your likeness. When the sun come up. But in the night, that inner struggle, have you ever gone to something and have that inner struggle? But then, you know, conscience will catch you. Faith again, consciousness to the word of God will come back to you and say, you know what? I will be vindicated. God is going to take care of it. And I know I will see his face. And when I walk in the morning, I'll be satisfied with seeing God likeness. So you might be going to the night struggles, but remember, daylight is going to come. Consciousness is going to return. Hold on to your faith. Trust God. The night is going to be over in your struggle one of these days, and likeness and day will come. Saints, have a wonderful week, and may the Lord's blessings be with you.